Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a focused learner looking to truly optimize how you operate, you are absolutely in the right place today. We're digging into something that honestly often gets brushed off as just, positive fluff, but it's actually an invisible force. We're talking about self-belief. In today's AI-driven world, where technical skills are basically becoming accessible to everyone, self-belief, that is your ultimate human superpower. It's literally the internal operating system that influences every single decision and every opportunity you have long before the world even gets a chance to weigh in.
Okay, so here is our operating system upgrade for today. We'll start with the hook and the code, move right into the science of belief, do a little troubleshooting on costs and myths, install the upgrade, and then finish up with a highly actionable 30-day reboot.
All right, Section 1, the hook and the code. Let's get into it.
Now, Henry Ford perfectly captured the absolute essence of our internal code when he said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. I mean, think about that for a second. This isn't just some cheesy motivational quote. It's a literal statement of function. Before an investor is ever going to believe in your idea or before a team believes in your vision, that belief has to exist in your own mind first.
So, what exactly is self-belief? Well, it's the unwavering confidence that you can learn, adapt, and figure things out despite uncertainty. It is absolutely not about believing you already know everything. Actually, scratch that. That's just arrogance, and let's be real, nobody likes that. It's simply the inner trust that you possess the raw capacity to figure it out as you go.
Moving on to Section 2, the science of belief.
Okay, so modern psychology anchors all of this in a concept called self-efficacy. This was introduced by psychologist Albert Bandura. It's essentially the belief that you can successfully perform the actions required to get a desired outcome. Now, Bandura proved something fascinating. People with high self-efficacy don't just happen to feel better about themselves. Because they genuinely expect success, they actually dive in deeper, they persist way longer through difficult tasks, they recover faster from failure, and they literally achieve more. The belief changes the behavior, and the behavior completely changes the outcome.
And this really brilliantly illustrates psychologist Carol Dweck's famous growth mindset research. Think about the stark contrast between a crimson-red stop sign halting you in your tracks and a bright gold-green light pushing you forward. The fixed mindset is that red stop sign, halting you with, I am not good enough. But the growth mindset adds one single incredibly powerful word, yet. Just adding that word physically rewires your brain to embrace challenges rather than run away from them. It completely opens the door to continuous learning.
And neuroscience completely backs this up. Our brains actually physically change based on our repeated actions through neuroplasticity. Notice this exact step-by-step cascade. Repeated beliefs generate your thoughts. Those thoughts trigger emotions, which in turn drive actions. Actions become habits, and those habits ultimately forge your entire identity. Your belief system is quite literally wiring your destiny.
All right, Section 3, troubleshooting. Let's look at the costs and the myths.
Slowing down here for a second, it is vital to recognize these crimson-red warning signs. Low self-belief usually doesn't announce itself loudly, right? It silently destroys your potential from the inside out. If you're constantly procrastinating, battling perfectionism, overthinking every tiny decision, or feeling like a total imposter, listen, these aren't just quirky personality traits. They are direct symptoms of an operating system that's struggling with fear.
And here is the true cost of that self-doubt. Imagine two people. They have identical education, identical resources, and identical intelligence. One succeeds, the other hesitates. Why? Because the real tragedy isn't a lack of talent, it's unrealized talent. People fail to execute and share their incredible gifts with the world simply because they are missing this invisible asset.
So, let's debug a massive myth right now. A lot of people think, well, I'll take action when I finally feel confident and the fear just magically goes away. But self-belief doesn't mean you don't feel fear. Just like a muscle only grows under heavy resistance, courage only exists when fear is present. It simply means you act despite the fear and you keep moving forward after a failure. The fear disappears after the action, never before it.
Section 4. Installing the upgrade. Time to fix the bugs. These 7 pillars are the structural foundation of your new upgraded system. You're going to need self-awareness to know your strengths, continuous learning because every new skill bumps up your confidence, and discipline to forge your new identity. But I really want you to focus especially on number 7, purpose. A meaningful purpose creates extraordinary persistence. People who deeply know their why almost never surrender to temporary setbacks. Since your internal dialogue literally becomes your external reality,
Making a simple coding switch is a total game changer. Moving away from that restrictive dead-end "I can't" to the bright gold light bulb moment of "I can learn" is honestly the most powerful prompt you can type into your own brain. It immediately shifts you from a fixed state into a state of total possibility.
Building on that, here are some totally practical strategies you can implement right today. Remember, confidence always follows competence. By deliberately keeping tiny, daily promises to yourself, you build self-trust. By mastering just one new skill a quarter, and no, you do not have to learn Mandarin by Friday, just something small. You prove your capability. And by keeping a success journal where you literally write down your wins, you're building a physical file of hard evidence for your brain to reference whenever doubt tries to creep back in.
And finally, Section 5, the 30-day reboot. Let's put this into action.
For the next 30 days, I want you to commit to this daily plan. Read one inspiring page, write down 3 strengths you demonstrated that day, complete just one important task before you even think about checking your phone or email, learn one new concept, spend 10 minutes reflecting on the day's lessons, express gratitude for one small success, and then plan tomorrow's first action. By executing these high-value daily habits consistently, you aren't just checking off boxes, right? You are actively creating a stronger identity and permanently upgrading your internal operating system.
Because here's the thing, self-belief is not some rare gift reserved for a fortunate few. It is a capability you build through exactly the kind of disciplined practice we just talked about. Since every remarkable achievement in human history began as a simple idea that someone somewhere believed was worth pursuing, I want to leave you with this provocative question. Will your potential remain a tragedy, or will your inner conviction become stronger than your outer doubts? What will you choose to believe about yourself, starting right today? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, I challenge you to start that 30-day reboot right now. Catch you next time.